Hello, 1, 2. This is a sound check. All right, here we are.
Und here we go. Und
My name is Corbett Santana. I live in Berlin, originally from Brooklyn, New York. I am 65 years old. Well, it's a chance for people to open their minds, especially young people.
Okay.
Understand? When you see people who are not educated, it's a little bit different, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas school is something important for children. When you mention the word school, and I think of the word school, I don't think of school for adults. I think of school for young people, and I think it's very important. It should be free.
Okay.
Free, period. The one thing about here in Germany, the education system, if you want to be educated, you can be, and you don't need bucks to do it. You know, during my time, the prices were going up and up and up. And I'm surprised that anybody can go to school with the way the prices were going back then.
Okay.
But yeah, I believe that it should be free. I like the system here in Germany where, you know, you can be educated as an adult to carry on. In the States, it's very difficult. Yes, they do have loans and stuff like that, but you usually come out owing money.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They train you there to owe money rather than, you know, to get education and put yourself in a position where you can work and you know, make money. Well, you know, if you're an adult, you have responsibilities, be it your job or your family. You understand? So you'd have to really make a big sacrifice to how do you say it, to carry on with your education. You know, you go to night school, for example, if that's what you mean. How does an adult deal with it? How do I think they should deal with it, you mean? Well, you know, it's admirable for someone to carry on with their education as an adult, especially with children and having a job. Now, with children, I think it's very important. I think they should be pushed all the way to the age of 18. I also believe in America that every child should leave the country for a 6-month period so they see what the rest of the world is like for at least once in their lifetime. Most of the Americans do not leave America, never mind the state that they live in. Entire lives, they maybe see 1 or 2 states and that's it. So education opens the mind for children and for, of course, adults. Having a job, making money, just to be real mundane about it, you know. You have a job, make money, boom, that's work. Some people are, excuse me, forced to do work that they don't want to do for the necessity of making money, and many people are more in that position, okay? It's a luxury to have a job that, you know, you love and like, and you're making money. Well, my attitude towards work changed as the years went on. So, for example, in my 20s, you don't really want to work. You have this, I don't know. The 30s was a bit different. 30s, 40s, and 50s, it changed, you know, because I discovered what I really wanted to do, which is be a video editor. And that's been my focus all my life. You know, like do camera work and, you know, all kinds of technical stuff. But basically, you know, I would say that yes, you know, human beings need to work. Okay? Without it, look at the pandemic, how people sort of behaved. You know, they become isolated for one thing. And it's not good for the psychology of people to not work. You have to interact with people, you see. So I think work is important. Whether I like working, when I was a construction worker, oh, I didn't like it, but I did it anyway, like most people would do. You know, for most people, it's not whether I like it or not, I just have to do it. So again, to jump back to what I said before, it's important that one, how do you say it, goes after the kind of work that they enjoy. And if it's possible for them to get it, get it. Whether I enjoy work, yes, I do. You know, with the video editing, all of this stuff, setting up lights and organizing files, this is all the hard work. But, you know, the work. But what I do enjoy is the end product. So you see 3 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, documentary, whatever it is that you have. This is my pleasure. So as a construction worker, when I was laying down cables, and as a wireman laying down cables, the end product was what I saw in the end. And this would give me pleasure, like right there in my heart when it comes to work. What I could tell you, first of all, getting a job might involve luck, but I also connect the word with luck to magic. One does not work without the other. I used to say in my gastronomy days when I had the success with Junction Bar, a place here in Germany, a little luck, a little magic. And that's what it takes. Even with my, I was at a point where, I think I ran out of the magic part. The luck I'm alive, I'm healthy, this is all lucky. I don't like making comparisons to other people that make me feel better. It does not make me feel better when I see somebody sicker than me, for example. Some people do get off on that and it makes them feel better, but it does not make me feel any better. If anything, it makes me feel worse. Luck is important, okay? And it's something that it's in the dictionary, but you can't put your hand on it like magic. Magic is even farther. And this is what, us Americans like to lie to ourselves. So, for example, you have, I've seen a film where they're fighting and you got this Asian woman and the American guy goes, yeah, everything will be okay. She turns him, snaps his head to him, says, you Americans are always saying everything's gonna be okay, and it's not. And that's the attitude. Even though it's gonna be shitty, it's gonna be a hard time, you lie to yourself sometimes just to keep going. So it's not about luck. It's not about luck. It's about, the motivation to carry on, for example. I laughed with luck and magic because I used that a lot in the past, in the distant past. Yeah. But now I can't say I don't believe in it no more. Believe in me, in the back of my mind, I'm still like a child. Hustle also has a positive connotation. Yes, you have to hustle. You have to do little tricks. Now, some people never lie in their lives, and they would, get upset when they see somebody lie, but I think more than half of the population at one point or another had to lie, had to cheat a little bit to get to what they want, okay? So, there are lucky people, as you say, but I think there are privileged people too, if you know what I mean, looking at me. So, you're here in Germany, you have the ace race. I just thought of that. You have America, the ace race, whatever that might be. England, the ace race. Iran, Iraq, the ace race, or religion maybe with these people. So, we always have, underdogs and people that, other people look down on. I think it's part of the motivation. But a lot of times when you get your dream, it's not what you thought it was. No way. Oh, now that you got it, you wish you didn't have it. Okay, but yes, dreams are, I guess I do dream just like everyone else. You understand? I do dream about things I'd like to have. I can't say I dream of ruling the world or having $1 million. I think about having $1 million maybe, but that's about luck. You go play some lotto, maybe you win. A lot of luck, 1 in a million. But you got to be in it to win it. So the same thing with your life. If you just sit on your couch and let yourself rot away, you will rot away. So you have to, and this is, okay, that dreams do motivate people. Dreams do motivate me. Okay? It's part of the little lie that I tell myself. Do it just a commercial to motivate people. You understand? When I hear that, it's, it's nice, just in case people forget, for example, to dream. It's a reminder. Yeah. It's like when I was younger, to get a good job, you need a good education. And what do you see? A dark room with a bed and a big black brother with a bald head going like this, suggesting that he's doing nothing. So that's to motivate people to, to get an education. In this case here, to motivate people to dream. When I hear something like that, yeah, that's a slogan. Yeah, that's a branding. What are they selling, by the way? They're certainly not selling dreams. If I could buy one, I'd run it there, buy it right away, man. How much it cost? How much does it cost? Can I buy a dream? To die without achieving your dreams. How about that one?
Okay.
That's one failure. There are many kinds of failure. You know, for you, if what's failure? Jesus Christ. I guess that's a nice one. To die without achieving your dreams, even getting close to it, and having the desire to be whatever it is that you dream to be, and not being able to have it. It's sort of like living a life without ever loving or being loved.
That's very sad.
Terrible.
Yeah.
If you know what love is, then you can imagine it's a terrible thing. But if you don't know what love is, and you live and die without it, just like what I said before, well, you don't know the damn difference. You understand? Only the observer would know the difference when it comes to living a life without love. For the person who lives a life without love, they don't know no difference, man. How would they know? Once you get it, it enhances you, makes you feel good, makes you feel powerful, you know? Women will motivate you to do many things where if you sit by yourself, you won't go as far. A lot of men, need women to motivate them, need adds to their backbone, so to speak, if they have any backbone at all. And that's how I feel about that. Yes. I think it's admirable for somebody who's been out of school for a while. They say if you stop going to school, it's really difficult to go back again. And I know that because I'm one of them. I actually dropped out of high school because I got fed up with how they were teaching. I was in some kind of program called Second Chance in South Shore High School at the time, Brooklyn. And I remember standing up in front of the class, after like a few months of that year, and not in front of the class, but asking the teacher to leave the room, and she, of course, she would not. And I just simply said to the class, look, you guys are bullshitting the teacher, man. We're here for 2 months talking about how we're going to hand our homework in. Wake up. And I look at the teacher, you're stupid enough to let this go on. I'm here to learn. I ended up walking out of the class, okay? And I didn't graduate from high school that time. And I had my mother in the back of my head. She put a lot of money to get me out off the streets by sending me away to boarding school, which was important for me when you talk about education. And I found myself, okay, I went and took the test to get the high school diploma, failed it, had to wait a year at the time, and I passed it. Well, I forgot how I studied for it, but it wasn't really too big of a thing. The test was like 5 hours or 6 hours long. And they had different subjects, and I plowed through it somehow, and I got that little piece of paper. So it was like a kid coming home with a bumblebee. Hey, Mom, look what I got. Okay? But then to go back again to college, what happened for me was I ran into a dancer from a club that I met when I was younger. So by then, I'm about 22, and she told me she was going to, what's it called? Kingsborough College. And that's what got me get back into college again, going back to school, me personally. It was kind of fun to do. Okay. I say it taught me, if anything at all, going to the university taught me what I call the paper chase. I think I told a colleague there earlier about the paper chase. This is what it teaches you to do, one thing, how to chase after papers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, again, if somebody has a dream that's connected to education, they should go out and get it. I also tell the kids, without the paper, you ain't getting the paper. What you mean? Money's paper, and that piece of paper is that you get with education's paper. Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, I got something to say to that.
What do you think about that?
It's called crowd something, and the idea is that they'll pay you like, I don't know, 1,000 something, a good amount of money for like a year and a half, man, just to prove the point that everybody should be giving this as a so the quality of life of people will get better. But it's a raffle. It's about luck. You understand? And I'm part of it. I put my girlfriend on it. We're the 2 kids on it. So and if you win, they'll give you I mean, can you imagine? 1,200, 1,500 bucks for nothing? You know, basically, you know, instead of getting like 800 bucks, which is just enough, no, not enough food in the end of the month. You can't buy, I don't know, little bullshit for yourself, you know, worthless things. You just got enough, and that's it. That's what's set up right now. But what these people want to do, and I heard about this in 2006 when I was at the Akud. This woman was trying to push the idea of something like 1,800 or something, not that much, but, you know, 1,000, 1,200 per month for people who are on welfare. It's called welfare here, the dole in England, and social, the job center here. Yeah. So, you know, they're really trying to push this. I like the idea very much. I don't know if it's practical for people who don't want to work. Yes, this is what the so-called conservatives say. You know, blah, blah. But I'm sorry, man. Look at the pandemic. People were forced to stop the work. And, you know, most of them are glad to get back online, quote unquote. I'm sorry. You know, if there's 100 people, at least 80 of these people who had jobs before are jumping back on it, man. They're not going back like this, saying, nah. These people are really motivated to go out there and to do something, of course, to make their money. Some may or may not like their jobs, but they keep going, luck or no luck. They have, you know, they feel lucky that they have a job. You understand? Really lucky, if you want to talk about feeling the luck. So yeah, there you go. You know, one thing that I used to wish for and talk about wishes, we didn't talk about wishes, did we? Or not? To give me enough, just give me what I need. And actually I kind of got that. I don't know if that's luck or magic over the many years. But that shifted. Now, screw this. I want a little bit more than what I need, you know? For example, I always suffer with getting nice hardware. I can't say I'm, you know, for example, I don't have money to buy good hardware, so I end up working with junk and gaffer's tape to do things, for example, you know? I've thought about money and its power and what it can do and what it does to people, what it might do to me. So, for example, if I were to win the lottery, a big amount of money, first of all, I would go underground a bit to think about it before I start spending, and I would bring the people that I know close to me to keep me balanced, so to speak, so I don't go crazy somehow. This would be one of my safeguards if I won the lotto, for example.
So you just remain grounded.
Somehow. I don't want to, you know, you never know. You never know.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, but hold on. What I want to say too, with money, and you know, it goes beyond that. Like, for example, if you want to call all the money in the world, as much money, you know, billions. Let's say a billion is enough for us, people like us, you know, but several billion, let's say. What I believe happens for a human being is, you know, you can buy as many cars as you like, many houses, but you know, you get bored with that really quick, I believe, really quick. And what you want to have is to control people. That's power. So, for example, you see a guy in a train station, and he's standing over the people, and he makes fake announcements just to see the people go that way, and then to see the people go that way, and to see the people go that way, just for fun. But on a global thing, it's another. If you want to talk about the World Bank, or whoever controls all of this stuff, it's sort of the same game. And you know, with money, yes, there's power. With lots of money, there's lots of power. And you get bored with buying things. So what else do you have to do? Control people. And with money, you can do that. Now, this is not something I dream about, but I'm sure half the people who are going to be watching this do dream about that. Seriously, they really wish. But then again, what I say, careful what you wish for. It motivates you to do evil things to get it, yes. If you don't got it and you're not criminally orientated and you want to stay straight, it doesn't motivate you to do things that you don't want to do, which we spoke about earlier. Well, it's funny. when I had money, I didn't feel any more motivated than I do now. You know, I feel the suffer of the pain of not having money. You understand?
Yeah.
And I'm motivated to go out there and get more. But, you know, I remember the first time when I was young, I made some money as a taxi driver, and I came home and saw it as paper and threw it all up in the air in my room and let it sit there and just picked off the floor and off the bed as the days went on. It was my way of showing disrespect for it in a way, even though I knew I need to have it. But what it motivates me, you know, because if you don't have it, you ain't gonna eat. You ain't gonna have no roof over your head. You know, and that's enough motivation for me to go out there and get that dough. That's for sure. And I don't want to go, you know, go into this, you know, this illegal thing, you know, where you do, you know, sell drugs and stuff, because I had no luck at that. Not that I tried it seriously. You know, I'm a good salesman of normal shit, but not of drugs. And that's for sure. And boy, I had to dance with that for years. Okay? But I have to tell you that I did always try to get work. What do you want? What is better between the two?
For example?
Jesus Christ, man. If you don't have no money, you can't do anything. And if you have money, your time is locked. So I guess, you know, especially now with me finally finding my job, you know, a job at this age, I guess, you know, that would be the better, for example, to work and to, you know, so screw it. You don't have free time, but at least you're working. And in my case, I'm doing what I like to do, so it makes it less painful. So the answer would be, you know, like I said, if I'm working at something I want to do, I would rather have the security of a job and less time than to have no money and all the time in the world and all the sweat that goes along with it. Or if you're just on the dole, welfare, or job center, you know, that you're just existing in a way. You understand? And that's not a very nice life.
There's a lack of a motivation.
But some people like it. We talked about some people who don't want to work. They're happy with drinking, doing, or sitting there doing absolutely positively nothing. People who just simply don't know how to work. They don't have the discipline to work that.
We just left school,
But-
and after that we received aid, and
But who am I to judge? You understand? Is it laziness? I don't know. But I do know when I was a teenager, because of the boarding schools, I really didn't know how to work until I was 16 years old. And I got a job working in a Taco Bell. And I had to clean and make tacos all day. That's where I learned to work. But before that, I didn't know what it's like to really work. So I guess, you know, there are people who don't work and they're comfortable, and thank God for the dole job center or the welfare that they, you know, they can have their little bit of beer or food each month and pay their bills, and, you know, I'm good. A little bit sexier. If I could have a boyfriend, I'm good. You know, what could I? Oh, I care. To bring my life into it, it was about having success and not really wanting it. Okay? And to have to go day in, day out, being frustrated about my work, which is being a video producer. When I was young, I could run with a camera, you know, edit, do cable work. In fact, see if I can bring this into the picture now, if it's appropriate. I have these two photos here, which is cables. Talk about loving work. This one here. Cables on the right here. This one is before chaos, and this is after.
then the second one looks neat.
Oh yeah, yeah. So this is, you know, about being devoted to work, and this is one of the first things that I did in my life with my profession. And believe it or not, I love doing it. I love to take all those crazy wires and then string them like big pieces of hair and make them all flow nicely, man, you know? And this is what people should do. You know, anyone watching, you should always figure out as quick as possible what you want to do and start going after it, period. You know, I've been pushing for years to work back in the business. I would say in the gastronomy business, at least 4 lifetimes. What is that, about 5 years? That's a lifetime in gastronomy. And there was a point where I really thought, it's over, man. And this happened about 7 years ago. So that became the ball and chain for me, to raise my hand from my lap and to look at my computer online to find work. It made it twice as hard to do. Okay? And I just kept pushing, man. Coming to places like this, for example, helped me to stay online. For example, to get my hands on the hardware, to figure out the new technology. That was part of it too, where, you know, no hardware, slow computers, and I was able to this was part of the motivation to stay, how do you say it, in tune with the new technology the best I can, and discovering something new, and also, you know, wanting to do that. Yeah, I want to do that. A lot of times with my work, I don't learn little tricks unless it's necessary to learn it with the work, you understand? Because you forget it pretty quickly. You know, you have to keep doing it as a routine, as an editor, for example. But yeah, you know, what motivated me to keep going probably, I mean, I kind of hate to say this, was my mother. And also the never give up attitude that I have. I mean, these are dark moments, or a bad fighting moment for me, I call it, where, you know, you just kind of, sometimes you just have to take a break. Screw it. Just sit here and do nothing until you know, but I get the edge, man. I just can't sit. I have to do something. If you put me in a chair, after a day or two, I'm going to get off that chair and go find something to do. If you gave me everything I needed around the chair, I would still have to get off of that chair to go out and do something other than sitting in that chair. That's for sure. So what motivates me is, yeah. Also, the men, my father was lacking. He wasn't in my life. So I had a lot of male images that made me say, yeah, I want to be like that one. I want to be like that one. I want to be like that one. And this also motivated me. I had some good men in my life that pointed the right direction for me and showed me what it's like, quote unquote, to be a man. But you have to be a man to understand that. It's a little bit of machoism, but men understand what I mean about being men, especially when it comes to making your money and taking care of your family. And this is something that was missed during that time, especially when family came in the picture. And I guess anyone can relate to how shitty it is to not have money to be able to throw it out on your kids, and how shitty it is that, you know, for a man to have the woman be able to carry the weight, for example, you know, and then to you know, be constantly looking for work and no one's nibbling, man. You know, no one's hiring you. What a drag. Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess not. You know, I'm not a virtuoso with the violin. And I realized that I'm not a movie maker. You understand? In fact, there was a time where I had all the hardware back then. And what I needed was an idea. In order to make a film, you gotta have an idea of a film. I'm sitting there waiting for it. Shit. It's like waiting for Godot. I'm still waiting for it. You know? Now that I have the hardware again to make films, you know, and I watch all these, I've worked with young people too, you know, doing their stuff for free and stuff to see how they work. And I see their motivation. You know, the films sometimes are dumb, they're inexperienced and all of this stuff, but they're motivated to do it. And there's an end product. But I don't have that. With my video editing, man, you know, when I was working for Tip Tifo, it was called, it was a video magazine for Tip magazine, actual magazine at the time. So they were on television. There was a guy there, I think his name was Karsten, right? Karsten. Not the moderator, but Karsten, the editor. This guy was an ace, man. You know, the kind would be sitting behind, but in those days it was a little bit different how you edit. And we had like one thing with buttons on it and a round knob, and that's it in the screens to control the machines, right? And he would ask, the client would ask him to do 3 moves. Can I have a dissolve here? First, you make the cut. I want to dissolve, and then I want to slow down for 5 seconds, and then cut. And you hear the machine go beep, 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 beep. Hear the fingers beep, 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 chop. And there it all is, man. Now with me, I'd have to do it in steps. First, let me do the dissolve. Okay, let me do the slow down. Okay, let me do the cut. And this is in my head, and the client has to sit and wait for me to do this shit. And this is where I realized, Corbett, you're not an ace. So what's happened to me, master, what do they call it? A jack of all trades, but really a master of none. This is what happens to me. I can fix almost anything in this room, believe it or not. Give me a few minutes with it and the right tools, yeah. But I'm not especially talented, where you have a person who's autistic and can count and do things, extraordinary. No. I haven't really found my talent. The only talent I look for is try to be nice with people and don't be so arrogant and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. That I never really thought about what made a list of talents that I have. It's kind of weird for me to do. And to hear the question also kind of confuses me because I really, never thought, well, what are my talents? Maybe what are my skills, for example, Skills, like I'm a good technician, for example. I'm a good wireman. I'm a mediocre cutter, to be honest with you. Please don't expect me to come up with all the creative ideas. That's your job, Mr. Director. All I can do is enhance it for you. But honestly, I can't run. I can't ride a motorbike fancy. I can't even do a wheelie, to make a joke. That's when you ride a one wheelie. I played American football when I was young. I was a little bit bigger and I could outrun the others. But to be honest with you, I cannot think of any special talent that I may have other than, as I said, the master of jack of all trades, master of none. And give me some gaffer tape, some screwdrivers and screws, and I can fix it for you, depending on what it is. I wanted to be a soldier when I was 8. That's the God honest truth. There was a program called Combat on television, a little black and white TV. We had 8 o'clock was bedtime. But before that, I could watch Combat. And it was a story of a squad, about 8 guys traveling through France, heading towards Berlin in the war. And their stories. I liked it a lot. There was shooting, action and stuff. Guys would die. Things like that. And my mother, I had this helmet, I had a machine gun, Tommy gun. I had toy soldiers I would line up in the living room and play soldier. And then, at the time, the government wasn't very, very good with covering up the crap that goes on in war. So you would see real scenes of them fighting on the ground in Vietnam at that time. And you would see wounded soldiers coming from the front, all screwed up and shit. And hit me one day, Mom, do I have to go there and kill? No, do I have to kill people was the question. And she told me basically yes. She didn't quite say it like that, but that's what soldiers do. I started to cry. I cried my eyeballs out like you would not believe. And it wasn't the fear of being killed. It was the fear of killing people. Right? So, soldier. And what I did, I just stopped watching Combat and got rid of the helmet and the machine gun, and my soldiers got dusty. Well, this wasn't, that's indoctrination, like what you said earlier with this slogan, like, Dare to Dream, for example. That was there to train little boys like me to go to the army. Okay? Later on, I went to boarding school. I got in trouble not coming home one day. All of us got our asses kicked, and it was one of one of the only times my mother beat my butt, kicked me down the hallway. I was crying my eyeballs out on that one. Threw me across the room because I didn't come home, straight home, when we got caught. And she asked me if I wanted to go to boarding school. I said, well, yeah, why not? So off I went, 4 years. 2 years military school, and then I finally got out at 15. I how do you say it, begged her to let me out because I realized how racist it was, you know, and even being older, you know, I realized that we had the draft where you have to go, you see. And I thought, okay, you know, I'll go to the military school, we'll see what it's like. I like the uniform. I love a man in a uniform, you know. And I went through this, and I finally begged to get out. When, again, this is all about soldier stuff when I was young, about my work. I wasn't thinking about, I played American football, but my grades went down, and I had to stop. And by the time I was 16 in Brooklyn, I begged my mother to leave the military school. I realized that I really didn't want, you know, I truly did not want to go in the military. There's no way in hell I'm going to go into combat with some white boy who's going to send me like to the worst combat zone with the intention of me getting killed, like a suicide mission. No way. I'll fight for my country, but not, you know, for some idiot who's going to, you know, just try to destroy me. All right, so what happened was, here's one thing I can thank President Nixon for. I was going to become 18 in June of that year, and he stopped the draft a couple of months before I had my number was coming up. And talk about luck? No way in hell that these people were not going to pull my number out of that drum. And my ass would have to go to Vietnam. And I didn't want to go. You can imagine who wants to go unless you're a soldier and you love it. There are people who love that too. But I wasn't one of them. So I decided, okay, what do? I don't know. I'll tell them that you guys make me a helicopter pilot. Okay? And put me in a medic corps, big red thing on the fire. I'll go in and pull guys out. If I'm going to risk my life, I'll do that, was my thought. But I knew that I was colorblind a little bit with greens and browns. So if you're colorblind, you can't become a motherfucking pilot. And then I thought, okay, anyway, I'll still push that anyway and see if I can get through the color thing. But anyway, I'll become a medic. It'll be a nasty job, but it's better. And I would carry a sidearm too, just in case. But it's better than going out there as a murderer. I would rather do that. And then, okay, with the profession I'm in now, that came when I started working for a film company called Magno Sound and Video as a cable man. And that from that time on, I saw myself as a cable man. That was it, man. And I enjoyed the work. I enjoyed the work very much. Well, you know, like I said, with Nixon stopping the draft, that was luck, okay? Call it what you like. If you want to talk about luck, maybe some magic too, God damn it. And people always ask me, oh my, were you in the military? Were you in the military? Were you in the military? Yes. 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 I'm happy with achieving this goal of getting a job, official job as a video editor, even during the Corona times, you know. So, you know, got my, oops, I can't touch, I got my little mask there that I would reluctantly wore through the whole period. Had to lie to myself. Talk about lying to myself that it doesn't exist. I would wear a scarf. I would wear a scarf just to pretend like, you know, it's not there. And when I walk into stores, instead of fumbling around outside with my mask, I just take the scarf and roll in. Just to be cool, you know, cool. Well, as a freelancer, I don't like the creative part so much when it comes to music videos, for example. A lot of times people do not know exactly what the hell they want when it comes to that. And they look to you for creativity. But wait a second, it's your idea. My job is, again, to put it together and to enhance it. You know, Hitchcock, some directors don't believe in that and others do. and the reason why I haven't been coming to the workshops is I've been working on different little projects. And just recently I got a one project where the guy had no script, nothing, man. I had to put this all together myself. And to be honest with you, I never, ever, ever put together a storyboard myself, all by myself. And I had to do this for this man, you understand? So I find that what I don't like is the creativity part, because it does take a long time to put these things together and to get to your money. What I do like about my work what I can imagine it to be, because I haven't really been in a newsroom or a news environment, really. But what I can imagine it would be like, you've got reductors or directors that come in, they know what they want, throw it down, assemble, edit, they call it in the old days. Bang, a few blends, send it to the next department for titles, and that's it. That's cool for me. I have to do as much as possible of that. Why not? In this case here, I'll be working like 4 in the morning until, a 10-hour shift for 4 days a week, man. Oh, that's going to be an adjustment. But I have 4 days off. So, yes, I look forward to doing this. I train myself now with this crazy work that I take for so little money. And it takes a lot of work to put it together. But it's all I'm training myself. I'm training myself to get ready for this. I do like to work because people are clear with what they want as reductors. They come in all huffy and puffy and ready to go. They want to get out of here as fast as possible. I like that vibe very much. Recognition, I guess. It's kind of cheesy for me, but part of me wants to be recognized for my work. Oh man, this Santana, he's a good editor. We all know that. For example, recognition. Yeah. And then the other, secretly, to be paid fat money. No one knows. Yeah. I don't know. What would I want? The fat money no one knows, or recognition? You people know the answer, huh? For sure. I won't tell you that. You people know the answer. You know the answer to that one. Mm-hmm. Am I living my dream? Well, I never dreamed it would be this way. Have I got my dream, at least what I've been fighting to get? Yes. With the video editing? Yes. Yes. It's about time where I'm in that security position you mentioned earlier where, I got a job. Less time, but I got money. Yes, for sure. Enhancement for me is to be able to do lots of things in Premiere Pro and to finally get my head into After Effects, for example, with the profession itself. Now there's a reason for me to stick my hands into After Effects. They've asked me to do certain things, and now I'm motivated. In fact, the job I just recently filmed, I set it up where they have this thing called roto brushing. It's an effect where you brush out the background somehow, and you just have the subject moving around on the screen. You can put it into any picture, and I was asked to learn to do that, and that's exciting for me. Okay, fine, so I just incorporate it in my job, and I'm yet to get to it to see if it works, but this is nice, and I like things like that, yes. Well, lately what I've been doing is I've gotten a few calls where people that I know have hired me to do work. It's all centered around this video production work in my life, I don't think about bus driving or flying an airplane. Closest thing is with a drone. I discovered you can't fly that thing everywhere. So, I had dreams about flying it, every day, and I can't because it's so restricted here in the city. So this is one thing that but everything's pretty much centered around my work, this video production work, and trying to find work and people to work with that I like to work with. For example, I like working with me. To cure cancer, for example, would be nice, but I also wonder if they already have the cure and they don't share it because they're making so much money trying to find the cure. So conspiracy or not, I really, 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 really wonder about that. World hunger. You know, don't waste food. What do you want me to send it, put it in a box and send it to Biafra, whatever country, you know, as a joke a kid would say? World hunger does disturb me because I realize that there's enough food on the planet.
More than enough.
But yet, people are literally starving to death. It's one thing with North Korea, and part of their torture I read is that they'll just let you starve to death in these camps, for example. And if you're an inmate and you share something with them, you join them. And I find it really difficult if I was a guard to watch somebody starve to death in front of me, you know. That is the ultimate. So in that same sense, with people letting other parts of the world starve, you know, I don't know why. This is something that would need to be dealt with. Actually, I don't read books anymore. During my Junction days and in mid-90s, I used to read in the bathroom. And I like reading Stephen King books. Stephen King, yes. I like The Stand is one story. The Talisman, which is an interesting story of a boy who saved his mother and he goes in this underground world across the country to fight the whatever. And what other stories I like from him? Oh, I can't think of all of them, but I have a collection of books from him. But actually my reading now, I do a lot of reading online. I like reading news. In my time when I was looking for work, you know, one of the first things I would do is go through the news. And I still do that now. I go through the Google News to see what's up. I go through I have a news app that I look at to see, you know. But most of my reading is with news or learning information about new things to do. But I don't read books anymore. Hate to say that, folks.